Okay, so the video is getting pre-raid Biss and Endwalker opened my eyes. This is what caught my attention. How did it open your eyes?
I already knew how.
So it's not Bellular, it's the other associate on Bellular Gaming that's narrating this video, who has actually a wonderful voice. I love listening to this guy talk.
Gearing worked when I went into Endwalker.
It's a little quiet though.
But actually experiencing it in new content for the first time is entirely on another level. FF14's gearing, right now anyway, doesn't so much as respect your time as much as it loves you as a player. The process of actually getting to pre-raid Biss absolutely blew my mind. So I wanted to just sit down and talk about it for
I immediately have a feeling like, oh my god, this pause. I mean, you know, wasn't it Tataru who once said, what is more good, to be born good or to hide one's evil nature through great effort? I think she was the one who said that. So anyway, what I wanted to say, what I paused, was I feel like I'm a little spoiled by the system. I'm so used to it at this point that it's not mind-blowing to me anymore. So I'm curious, how is this mind-blowing? Okay.
for a while. Now, as with other videos, there will be spoilers, and they will be very clearly marked when they begin. And for this one, they'll only be in video form. So I won't say anything that'll spoil you. So when I talk about spoilers, when I say spoilers, just tab out or minimize the window or something and listen away. You'll be fine.
Okay,
First
so
of
he's
all,
going to warn
I'll
you about the spoilers in here, and I'll try to extra warn you.
explain why I love the design on
I'm warning you now, by the way.
or like the design of gearing. In Endwalker, you get your 560 artifact armor for your left side just through the MSQ, you know, the actual job gear.
Yeah.
Then you get 540 to 560 accessories from story dungeons, so usually you'll come out of MSQ with about 545, 550, maybe a little bit higher item level. Then the first actual requirement is needing 560 for the extreme trials, so if you want to do those, you only really need a few bits of the Moonward gear, which, you know, the 570 gear, that's the uncapped tombstone gear, the Final Fantasy IV references.
Right.
So you'll need that. And you'll also need to maybe farm any missing dungeon accessories, but there's no lockout, so you can just farm tomes or the items to your heart's content. There's such
We
a
don't have
low
we don't have the full system in place yet. We don't have the capped tombstones in the game yet. So that's going to be coming soon. That will add another layer to this. But right now, farming out the gear through the uncapped tombstones is extremely easy. Like just doing it. Doing the, what do you call it, expert every day, you're going to be good to go. Even when there's capped tombstones. They're so good.
Okay, so the following segment will have video-only spoilers for the first Endwalker trial. If you've done it, work away, continue watching. But if you haven't done it, either tab out, open a new tab, something like that. But continue to listen, and you'll be fine.
Okay.
I'll
He
give
gave
you
you
a
the
countdown.
warning.
3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1.
Let's jump. A fun aspect of the Extremes is the different gear, first of all. Extreme 1 has accessories, and Extreme 2 has weapons, which kind of neatly categorizes which one you want to do and why in your head. Systems-wise, it, like, you know, player experience, it makes targeting gear easier to do, but
You want to do both. because
experientially,
they're
it
fun.
just feels right, you know. You go fight Redacted to get the Redacted weapon. And that's how you think about it, and that just feels kind of right. Of course, also, there's no lockout, so you can just farm what you want. You can just farm it until you get what you need.
Yeah, like
and
the mount.
They still, even after that, they still have a generous drop rate. Extreme 1 drops 4 accessories, meaning in theory, half the party gets a bit of loot. That's 4 out of 8. Extreme 2 drops a random weapon and also a weapon coffer, which is, you know, a generic
That's
item
new.
that turns into your job item.
Where
So that's 2 out of 8.
that's such a nice thing that they added, by the way. Where now every time you kill a trial boss that drops a weapon, it also drops the weapon coffer. God, it's made it so much easier to get weapons from all my different jobs now.
Usually-
5 totems. It's 5 totems for a accessory. I felt like that was a scam.
Even for the mount, which has a backup of 99 totems, it's all just so balanced. There's gear, go get it. If it drops, awesome, great, fantastic. If it doesn't,
Yes.
just try it again.
You can save up 99 totems to turn it in for a mount later, though. If you want that mount now, if you want that mount today, then you need to farm it out until it drops. And right now, it seems like the drop rate is insanely low. Insanely low. Did they nerf the drop rate on the mount?
If you're really having shit luck, you can just work towards buying it instead, and you know that'll always be there. That said, lockouts do actually exist elsewhere, so let's get into those for a bit.
It's so good. Like, you never feel like you walked away empty-handed. You never feel like you wasted your time, because at least you got that totem. It's the same for your savage raids, which I guess they'll also notice when the savage raids come. You get the book. You clear a savage fight, you get a book for that fight, and then later you'll be able to turn in several books for the gear that dropped if you're unlucky. So like, you're not going to be trapped in a never-ending cycle of the treadmill of RNG. That doesn't happen in this game. That's one of the reasons I keep playing it. Before you go into the normal mode raids to roll for gear, what you want to do is check to see what stuff to roll for. What's your plan? What items are you trying to get that you could get this week? Because if you don't have a plan and you just roll willy-nilly on anything, then you might get like one hand currency, one foot currency, one chest currency, and another chest currency, and with all that, you're not gonna be able to get anything. The way I figure out what I need is I actually go to the balance Discord, and I go in the resources channel for the job in question. So like balance Discord, they have a lot of different channels. They have a channel of resources for every job. You would want to go look at gearing. So I go to the gearing section. Anyway, you look in the balance and you'll be able to find it. You'll be able to find which things you're going to get every, like which are the things you want to prioritize getting every week.
Then, of course, there's Savage coming later, which will have a much more old school loot style since the lockout's actually used up by the roll rather than actually winning the gear. You know, like you would expect from a lot of loot games.
But you get the book.
At least it uses coffers, so groups don't like get gear that they don't need with their comp. The weirdest bit overall, I think, is how the weekly capped tombstone gear is the highest non-Savage gear available. So players who can't go into Savage or won't go into Savage are kind of just reduced to during roulettes and waiting for the cap to reset. I'm not sure how that feels in practice, but in theory, to me, it feels a little bit off. I'm really not sure, so let me know what...
The thing is that, yes, you can get the high-level capped tombstone gear, but for... I think no job ever is all of your bis going to be the tombstone gear. Because basically you get the tombstone gear that's capped from the Savage Raid, and then there's a little item that would drop from Savage Raid that upgrades it. And so you still need the item from Savage to upgrade that tombstone gear to a bis item. So you still have to go to Savage. No matter what, to get the best gear. To get the best gear, you still have to do the hardest content, so it's fair.
Think about it. As for the overall experience of the extremes, gear is only one small piece of the puzzle. The actual system design behind loot is important, and it is really good, I think, but in my experience, the content itself, and then even the party finder, make up like the rest of the picture, the like holistic experience. And I was so inspired by them, I actually just want to sit and talk for a while. So here's how my experience of getting pre-raid this actually unfolded. I was sat on Discord, like most Saturday nights, wondering what to do. Do I farm tomes? Do I level warrior to 90? After plenty of hesitation and then a lot of deliberation, our resident bunny tank Tom and I just decided to suck it up. We decided, okay, we'll get some extreme practice in.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do today.
Even though we were a little bit anxious, we joined a practice party and started practicing. Now, everyone was failing to mechanics, even the simple ones, but with every pull, we got a little bit further, and the two of us especially figured it out a little bit more, and I was genuinely amazed by the perseverance. It was a few hours later, like solid hours of tries. Once we understood the fight, we were hitting Enrage reliably, and they were like, God, I can't believe these players are still with us. But we figured we would call it a night. Then, on Sunday morning, we assembled a couple people from the FC.
They're used to it.
We threw up a duty completion party, you know, going for completion instead of just practice. and then led them to victory. Ryan
I
Walker.
really hope that people will hear this and feel inspired and feel like it's really not the massive roadblock in between you and clearing extreme trials. That's something I've consistently tried to express to players and people in my community, is that just literally just join a practice party, die a lot. It's okay to be bad. It's okay to make tons of mistakes, die constantly. Just try to enjoy yourself. Learn a little bit every time you wipe, just like he explained. And before you know it, you'll have everything you need. Everybody will feel more comfortable. Everyone will get better. You will get better. Believe it or not, like, it does happen. Just keep, like, sometimes to me, raiding often just does feel like bashing your head into the wall over and over and over and over. But eventually you stop feeling it. You just get numb. So, yeah, you should try that.
A weekend is actually quite a lot of time, so on Sunday night, invigorated by our victories and the fact we were like getting close to Abyss, we figured, let's go get the weapon. Now, spoiler time again.
Spoiler time.
This time, we're going to show footage from the second Endwalker trial as well as the first, so...
Also, that's another thing. Like, it's another thing I really like that this game does is that usually the first extreme trial and the first savage fight that's released is very accessible, very learnable. It's not super, super complicated. You can go in and just die a lot and you'll figure it out and you'll get better. You'll build your confidence. I think that's really, really important for new players, people that are new to raiding, to sort of get their feet wet and feel like, yeah, actually, I can do this. This is nowhere near as complicated or as impossible as I thought. And this draws more people into, like, it very gradually pulls you into the water.
Extreme 2 went much the same as Extreme 1 did. We got a very patient group to practice, but I couldn't stop once we disbanded, and I stayed up far too late just chain joining practice parties until I knew the whole fight like the back of my hand. Didn't get a kill, sadly. Anyway, we regrouped on Monday, and I shared all of my late night learnings. We got a couple people to fill in our ranks, and then we went and we killed it. Then we killed it again and again for a couple of hours. I think it was maybe 7 kills. And I finally had my shiny new healing guns.
Healing
and then
guns.
I spent the tomes that I was also getting while we were farming on the last Moonward bit. I believe it was the hairpin. And that was me. Pre-raid Abyss. I wasn't done just yet though, since we
Healing guns.
just
I really like
went
that.
back in on Tuesday night. Because other people needed it. And it's fun. Why not? So now, after Tuesday night's run, I think everyone in the FC who was playing with us has their weapon
Hey,
and has a stack of totems
nice
to spend
chess piece
if
choice
we need any alt jobs.
on Reaper there.
It's such a great experience.
Yeah.
I've genuinely had an absolute blast learning the fights and then leading others through them afterwards. People are like, they're hungry to learn. They will follow instructions. They get what's going on. The fights are designed so clean. The experience overall has been like...
Well, they have to
really
learn the
just
fight because there's no DBM telling them exactly where to stand. So they have to actually remember, oh, I better run to the middle crystal now because I'm a DPS.
Very smooth. It's been such a far cry from what I'm used to in so many other games. People have been, they've been helpful rather than feeling like a hindrance. Maybe that'll change if I do Savage, but right now I feel pretty good. And, I have a point to this. It might sound weird
Genuinely,
to those of you who haven't
if you
played
can if you can farm out extreme trial 2, you're gonna have no problem at all in Savage, because extreme trial 2, I don't know if I would necessarily say it's like a late Savage raid tier in difficulty, but what's important about it is you do have to learn mechanics. You need to respond quickly. You need to identify what's going on quickly, move quickly, and have good pattern recognition there. You need to not lose focus the entire fight. Like, if you look away for a second, if you lose focus for a second, you'll probably get hit by something. So if you can do that fight cleanly, you are 100% good to go for any Savage fight. Like, you can learn any Savage fight from there if you are able to do the extreme trial, extreme trial 2.
World of Warcraft or only played World of Warcraft with large groups of solid players or like a pretty good guild or something like that. But the idea of joining a practice party, at least at the beginning, was genuinely terrifying. That concept doesn't exist in WoW. It's implicit that every group expects kills. That's kind of how it works. So players put hours into trying to get invited to groups. They clear trash, they kill bosses, even ones they've already killed, for no loot, because that's how you get to later bosses, only for half the group to leave, maybe more, when the fight goes wrong once. Not a couple times, once. Like, they know their time will be wasted if they stay with this group based on what they've seen. So they take the loss, the massive loss of time, and try to find a good group, which is, repeating the entire process from step one. In contrast, my experience in Endwalker has been amazing. Like, obviously, I've had a few frustrated people. I've had a few people holding parties back. Almost gotten in a couple fights with some triple legends, but most people have been patient.
What?
They've been helped.
What? Way to bury the lead there. What are you talking about? You almost got into a couple fights with some triple legends. Well, tell me who it was. I just want to talk. I might not be a triple legend, but I am a perfect legend, by the way. So, I mean...
And they've been quick to improve, either in practice or they've been really reliable when it comes to farm. So I sat and tried to think about why this could be. I think it's for maybe some combination of 3 reasons.
Okay.
First one is the practice parties. Having parties that require a prior kill, duty complete parties, it ensures that players who want a guaranteed kill or like a proper loot farm can actually find one, and players who aren't there yet can find practice parties. And they go in to these practice parties with the right expectation that they're there to learn, not for a kill.
Yeah. The problem is
second part
just that, like, sometimes it's not labeled well. Like, you join a farm party, but it turns out to be a practice party. And I'm like, hey, I thought this was going to be a farm party. Why didn't you indicate that this was going to be a practice party? Or sometimes it'll say this is a kill party, but it's actually a practice party. So there's a lot of, it's like almost every party is a practice party. And I wish that they could be more clear about that.
Then is the low barrier to entry. Find the party, leader clicks the button, time to fight the boss. It does feel a little bit unnatural, but it really,
Yes, like every party I put up. Kill for a friend party.
really wins out when it allows for people with little time free to just get a good few attempts in. It's just literally just in and out, quick 20 minutes.
You know what I really love about
Also,
the party
the
finder
shorter-
in Final Fantasy XIV is that if you have the item level that's required and you are the job that's required, you click enter and you have joined that party. You don't have to click apply to enter and then have the party leader look at your item level and compare your item level with everybody else that has applied, and then they'll just pick the person with the best gear. Like, that doesn't happen, and I think that is really, really good. That you're not constantly getting messages like, oh, your application has been denied to join this group. Yeah.
You get frustrated whenever you spend so much prep time, get into a fight, and 5 minutes in, someone fails a mechanic, group disbands. That's, as someone who pugs a lot in World of Warcraft, that's fairly common. And I have not yet to see it happen over an FF.
Well, yeah.
Honestly,
I don't really see that happen
I don't
ever.
think that's anything to do with the quality of...
It's like, if one person, like, if you have a wipe, or even 2 or 3, and it said practice party, and then someone leaves, everyone's like, what is up with that guy? Like, why did he leave? Didn't he know this was a practice party? Didn't he know we are going to be wasting a ton of time today?
Player, I think it's more about expectation and how the party finder sets that up.
Yeah.
Now, there's a third reason as well, I think, and that's that most fights and jobs are an absolute joy to play. So the experience holistically of doing them feels wonderful.
Feels good.
They're really fun.
It's
They're
fun.
designed cleanly and fairly, so people can, like, at a glance, they can kind of understand what's going on, or if they don't, they can follow the group's lead. It's like, when people need to spread, the whole group needs to spread. So if you see, 6, 7 other people spread, you go, what do I do?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I spread. That makes sense. Same with the stack markers. People just intuit them. and they
Wait,
can
wait,
play.
wait.
Shit, I spread. That makes sense. Same with the spread. You go,
I'm sorry.
what do I do? Oh, shit, I spread. That makes sense. Same with the stack markers. People just intuit them
That's
and they
great.
can play. It just works.
I really
Honestly,
enjoy
it just
that.
works. It also helps that both of these fights
Oh,
are
shit, I spread.
they're utterly beautiful. They're obviously exaggerated versions of the existing trials, which means you've already got an intro to most of the mechanics, you know. But one thing that's important is you feel the weight of the narrative. From, like, you know, you remember your first time there, the music, the sounds, the situation, and you feel that while you're fighting.
Yeah, that's true.
You feel it when you're fighting.
true.
And then the spectacle. The spectacle is incredible. The raid wide after the ad phase on Extreme 2.
For me, though, like, it's often
Literally-
really difficult because of that. Like, I think it adds another layer of difficulty because it's a lot harder to see the boss's mechanics when your eyes are, like, filled up with tears and you can't even see straight and you're, like, shaking. So it's been a challenge.
Literally every time I see it, I am a little bit awestruck. I actually...
My vision's
The
blurred.
amount of times
so,
I
like,
said out loud in Discord, I just go, boys, when is this going to get tiring? When is this going to get old? That silhouette, the voice line, the sound, it's all just incredible. The fights themselves are like part IQ test. They're part rehearsed dance that's fun to do, all while you're engaging with your own level 90 job
Right.
mechanics. And
The fights are IQ tests? Is that why I still can't figure out the snakes in Zodiac? That's because it really does feel like when the platform moves and I have to think, okay, the snakes were over here and now they're going to be over here. So where do I need to stand? Brain, can you help me out with that? Usually my brain is like, go to the edge. Just go to the edge. It's probably gonna be fine. So
combined, it's just fun. I've just had a lot of fun doing it.
it just focuses on fun.
Same-
They literally just look at their game and they're like, well, what would be the most fun?
Next week.
How can we
and
make
again
people
in
happy?
January.
And that's what they do.
Thank you very much for watching, and
So of course it's fun.
I promise, Michael will have the MSQ.
The question
finished
they're
so
asking themselves when they create content is not, how can we get players to keep doing this for as long as possible so that they stay subbed for as long as possible? How do we hold the loot out away from them, just out of reach, just out of reach for as long as possible? Maybe put it on RNG, like make it really hard for them to get, make them grind for it for like months and months and months and months. So that way it'll take forever for them to get this if it's even possible. Like, but let's say, how long could we stretch this out so that we make sure that they play and they keep paying us money? That's not how the devs approach making content in this game. They're like, oh, well, I mean, you can probably get all your bits and like, or at least right now, before Savage, you can get your weapon and all of your Moon War gear in a couple days, maybe. It's not gonna be too hard. Wow. Well, he made some excellent points in this. I really enjoyed how well structured this video was. And I really enjoyed hearing him talk about his experience going from like sort of slowly dipping his toes into the water of the first extreme trial fight, getting more comfortable with that, joining the practice party, and then like feeling more confident because of how well that went, and going forward, it's saying, you know what, I'm ready for the weapon extreme trial now. We're gonna go get the weapons now, and then having such a good time going through all of that and getting the weapon, getting the accessories, and now working towards getting all the Moonward gear. Like this is the process I continually am telling people, get into it, try it out. Don't be afraid just because it says extreme. Like, you are 100% capable of doing this if you can just put in the time, have fun, and be a little patient with it. And this video really explained how that is super possible even if you're relatively new to raiding. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how he responds to the Savage loot system coming out. I'm pretty sure like he's gonna be quite satisfied with it because it's based on his exact same principles, and everybody in the community is pretty much happy with how gearing works in this game because it does respect your time above all else. So yeah, I will put a link to this video in the chat. I would strongly recommend you drop it a like. I will do that. And here's the link. Did I put it? Yes. So go and give it a little watch, give it a little like there. And looking forward to, oh, I wanted to know, like, are they on Light's data center? Are they on Light data center? Because I would be happy to help out with any extreme trials, any savage fights. Like, that would be great. This was something that he mentioned in the video that I thought was really important. He really emphasized how good it is to join a practice party, because the practice party will set the expectations. For example, if you join a practice party and you make a lot of mistakes, and someone is a dick to you about it, that person will be criticized by other people in the group, because it's a practice party, and that means you are expected to be able to make a lot of mistakes. You can even, if you really want to be in control of the situation, make your own group. The only time that you'll run into a problem, honestly, is if there's either a completely insane person in the group that will be told off by everybody else in the group, everybody else will have your back, or B, if you join a group that's like a kill party and you don't know the fight. If you join a group that's like practice past light waves and you've never seen light waves, you're gonna have a bad time. Don't do that. Man, I enjoyed that video so much. I really hope that people will hear that and feel inspired by that story and feel encouraged to go into the savage or go into the extreme trials. Because actually, I have people tell me all the time, hey, Zepla, thank you so much for encouraging me to go into the extreme trials. I just cleared my first extreme trial. Or hey, Zepla, I just cleared my first savage fight. Or hey, Zepla, I just cleared my first raid. Thank you so much for giving me the confidence to at least give it a try, because I'm having the time of my life. And I love hearing those stories. Man, I love that. Have some faith in yourself. You can do it. Ganbate kudasai.